Gary Buys here, Poudre River Gun Ducks. Hey, I got a tip for you today on how to seal the ends of your rope on your bumpers. A lot of times what happens is these things fray out and they sort of go to pieces. Well, there's a really cool way that I know that you can seal that up to prevent that from happening. So here's what we need here to accomplish that. I've got this 3/8 poly rope. You can pick this up at any hardware store. I have a utility knife to cut the rope. This is our dip. It's just a plastic dip that you typically use for like handles on tools, that sort of thing. Trusty old torch, and of course a pile of bumpers. Let me show you how we're going to do this step by step. So what we're going to do here is cut the length of our rope. I'm going to use this as a guide. The knots are going to take up a little extra, so I'm going to add a couple inches on both ends. And I'm going to say right about there is where I want to be. Come over here and cut this. Be careful with that thing's sharp. And there's the length of my rope. So what I'm going to do is cut the same amount of these that I need for the number of bumpers that I have. That's pretty much it. So now I'm going to go to town. You watch how fast I can rip on these babies. So here's my rope. It's all the same length. These are what I'm going to put on these bumpers here. The next thing I want to do is to keep these ends from fraying. I'm going to burn the ends of this thing and just seal it up. Well, it's still hot. What I'm going to do here is run it right through the bumper. I'm going to twist it through here so it molds to the shape of the bumper. And then at the other end I'm going to pull it sort of part way through and just sort of spin it, and now it's going to harden and seal up that end so it doesn't come apart. I'm going to dip it here in our dip right here. It's going to go in there after I tie a knot. So what I'm going to do now is just heat these guys up, sort of form fit them so they fit through the holes in my bumpers here, and knock that out real quick. Watch how fast I do this. Pile of bumpers. That's enough to get me started here. I'll finish these guys up later, but I want to move on so I can show you what to do next. So what we're going to do next here is we got all these guys, they're all the right length. I'm going to tie a knot in the end of it and then snug it up nice and tight. What I like to do is actually pull it through the bumper to snug it down even more, just like that. Do the same thing on this end. And there you have it. Now we're ready to dip these guys in this can. So here we go, hyper mode again. So that's it. Done in a second. Alright, so we got our bumpers here, we got our ropes cut to size. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to dip these ends and seal them up with our plastic dip. That's the next step. This stuff's kind of sticky, so open this baby up. And I'm using the blue color because I want something I can see pretty easily if I got a bumper in the grass or whatever. This is kind of messy, so be careful with how you handle it. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is take these guys over. I'm going to dip this right in here. Nice and slow. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to let it drip off there a little bit. And then I'm going to flip it around and do this other side. So there's one side. Here's my second side. Now this stuff will drip a little bit, so keep that in mind, and it's pretty much going to stick to wherever it goes. Alright. And what I do is I just set it right here, and I'm going to let it dry. So you do the rest of these. Now you want to go down and coat these things far enough to where it's going to seal it up even past where the knot is. So we're good to go. We're going to go out now and train and actually put these things to use. Gary buys Prudhoe River Gun Dogs. Here's another tip for you guys to make life easier for you and your dog. If you want more information, we have a lot of training tips at our website, www.PrudhoeRiverGunDogs.com. Till we see you again, see ya.